Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dahlia. Today we're back on Croakwood, my all frog fishing village, working on a new build. And today we're doing a transition space, so we're kind of just connecting two builds that I've done recently. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to like the video if you enjoy, and comment down below letting me know how your day is going and what part of the video you like if you want to as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's head over to the space we're going to be working on today, and we get started because we got a lot of work to do. So like I said, we're going to be working on a transition space, so we're connecting all of this area, all of this, so the top to the bottom of the right corner of my map, the bottom right. And initially when I started this, I wasn't like 100% certain of how much of this build I was going to do. I just know that this was the general area that I wanted to work on, and the reason I was unsure of how much I wanted to create is because I'm trying to be better at working on smaller builds at a time, not only for like, you know, like editing purposes.
I'm taking a nap!
You want to take a nap?
I'm taking a nap here.
Okay, take a nap right there then.
Good night.
But also just because like I want to be able to take pictures of completed sections, and I feel like every build I work on just ends up being like bigger and bigger and bigger, and like there's just so much built that it's not like it's in the same frame. It's everything is just kind of like everywhere. So I wanted to make this build a little smaller. I was going to try. I failed.
You are a failure. You are a failure.
But I was gonna try. So I know for next time we're gonna try it next time. But the good thing about working on the bigger build is that the video is a little longer, and you get to listen to me ramble for a couple more minutes than usual, because apparently you guys like that. I don't know. So we are creating a transition space, like I said, and what's really fun about this transition space is we're going to be experimenting with the water path and some bridges, or like a single bridge I should say, and like just kind of be a little bit more creative with what this build is going to be, because initially this was just going to be a giant body of fake water. As you guys can see, I'm placing water pathing down because I knew I was going to be placing tons of water pathing, because this was going to be kind of like a river that kind of like loops, or like a pond or a lake of some kind. It's a body of water, and it was going to loop around the area. But I'm like, you know what will make this really nice and really different than what I've done so far? You know, like when you're on like a lake and there's like water, but then there's also like a bridge that goes up and down so that boats can like drive under it or through it, but then also cars and people can walk over it. That's what this is.
Remember, rip it, roll it, and touch it.
It's like he's trying to speak to me. I know it. You know, you're really cute, but I don't know what you're saying.
Because I also really wanted to connect my dock pathing with this. I didn't want it to just be like one giant body of water. Like it could have been. I would make it work. It would look good. But I wanted to do something more. I wanted to be a little bit more creative. I also really want to use bridges on this island. I'll be using a couple of bridges for like some small water terraformings that I'll be doing in the future. But this island is going to be heavy on codes. So the majority of the water is going to be fake water, as you guys have clearly already been able to tell by the amount of fake water I've already been decorating with. But this is particularly one idea I had in my head when I was starting to work on this island, as I've kind of started to transition my theme into like this like summer side fishing. I don't even want to call it a village. Is it a town? I don't know. This fishing port area. This fishing port, whatever. I knew I really wanted to create some areas that included bridges And I knew I really wanted to use like the blue steel one because the color just goes great with my color scheme. It matches. I'll also be using the wooden one, like the different wooden bridges that we have, because obviously they'll go really well with the codes and the color scheme of the island as well. But I really wanted to use the blue one, just add a little bit more pop of blue. But it's not specifically my code. So it looks really good and I'm really happy with it. You guys will see me add a couple more items and stuff around the bridge, but it really does give the illusion of like one of those bridges that like are in the middle of a lake or a body of water that like, you know, goes up and down as boats and people, like whether it be boats going through or like people driving their cars or walking along the road or whatever. It's kind of like, you know, like those bridges are connected to either like roads or they're connected to like smaller like things for people to walk on. But anyways.
Oh. Okay.
This just reminded me of like my cottage growing up, and I love how it looks. But anyways, I filled in the water code, as you guys can see. This is when I was still working on this section. We do move up the map and continue to fill in that space as well. But I wanted to see how this code was going to look in an area this large, because I haven't done this much just plain water code yet on the island. There's been a lot of like of the deck code kind of like breaking the water up. So this is like the first area that's had like a huge section of water. And obviously, as you guys can see, I customized it to include a couple of areas to add some trees and other foliage. And I realized as I was doing this, I wanted a lot more trees, and I wanted the areas to be sectioned off in a better way between the land and the beaches. So I actually end up fully recustomizing the codes on the bottom portion of my map. You guys will see me fiddle with in a second, but I'm going to create bigger sections along the edges of my grass areas so I have more trees, because planting trees in this island is really important to like, I feel the overall aesthetic, but I need to be very mindful of where I put them. So like they're going on like the corners of the decks and like a couple of areas next to fake buildings I've created. But I also want there to be like bigger sections that have like quite a few trees of like various different sizes and different kinds, so that it looks a little bit more overgrown. I want this to be not necessarily a natural island, but there is still a lot of natural elements with like the water and everything. So as you guys can see, I recustomized the water code to add a lot more trees, and I do this around the entire perimeter of the build, and I'm really pleased with it because I feel like it adds a lot more natural elements to the island that I want to include. There's going to be some areas that don't have this water pathing that I'm going to be including a ton of more trees. It's going to give like almost like the jungle vibe of my old jungle island, not in the same kind of way. It won't be as overgrown, but still kind of like a similar element. And then in between the trees, I'm placing a ton of wheat fields, garden rocks. I'll be planting some shrubs as well in the white plumera bushes. I've decided to include those on this island as well. I might include some flowers. I haven't done so yet. I'm just trying to decide what flowers I want to include. I feel like pansies and like lilies might be a good option because they definitely give that more tropical-y vibe, I guess you could say, but I'm not sure. Still kind of early stages of like figuring out how certain elements of the island are working, but I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, yeah, I'm planting the trees, and one thing I do want to mention, as some people have brought up, is I will be decorating my beaches. Don't worry.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
I haven't decorated them yet, but I wanted there to be areas that connect the land to the beach that look natural. And so far, a lot of my areas, as you can see, have been just a lot of water on the edges of the map or like decks. So these particular areas don't look like they should be immediately transitioned over to the beach. So I have areas like my bridge that I just created that are going to be great sections that like transition from the land to the beach. So I will be decorating my beaches, do not worry, I promise you, but I haven't done it yet. So they are coming, I promise. It's a summer island, so obviously I'm going to be decorating my beaches. Like it wouldn't make sense not to decorate my beaches. Like my last island, when I did my winter island, I didn't decorate my beaches because it was winter and I felt like I didn't need to, and it didn't really go with the theme. This goes with the theme, so I promise you I will be decorating my beaches. This is also a like nautical type themed island because there's a lot of fishing elements and stuff like that, so trust me, the beaches will be decorated at some point. I probably will also have a couple of villagers' homes probably on the beaches too, or maybe like a shop or two, maybe the campsite. We'll see. I am going to be keeping the tent for Blathers in like the tent as opposed to upgrading to the museum because I want to do like a really fun theme or a really fun build with his tent on this island that I think will look really, really cool. I already have the idea in my head. So that is one thing that I'm really excited for. But yeah, don't worry. I will be decorating my beaches soon. But anyways, yeah, we're decorating the remaining portion of this build. The last section we're decorating here is just adding my boats. I feel like I'm adding a little too many sometimes. So I'm trying to keep it like not overkill, but at the same time, like if you're gonna fill this whole area with like fake codes, you have to put something in the middle of the codes. So the fake boats are what I've chose to include. So anyways, we're now moving on to this upper portion of the build. This is one of the fake buildings I created in my last build around my plaza. And I knew going up along this corner, like along this right side, because I didn't have a ton of space to work with. I was going to do like a dock kind of area. I was actually just going to include an entire row of yachts on the right side, but I actually had a little less space than I initially wanted. And so to make this look more natural and to make this look like this is still a small section of water that boats can actually drive through, I scrapped that idea. This particular section right here is just going to have like a boat driving through, but I decided instead to create like a little tiny boat dock area like going along this section that's like right next to my fishing market that I created in the last build. So it's going to be kind of like, it's just a boat dock. So we're going to have a couple boats planted. So as opposed to having some boats, you know, floating or driving in the water, these ones are just going to be, you know, parked along a dock, which is not something I haven't not done yet. But I thought this little tiny section right here was just so cute to place a couple more boats, and it makes the area look a lot more fuller, which I really like too. And this is kind of like a great tie-in to my last build with like the market, because now I could place a couple more of like the stacked fish containers and the fishing containers here. So it kind of like, I don't know, as I mentioned, it is a transition space, so this is just connecting one build to another. So
Connected the two dots.
You didn't connect shit, but
I've connected them.
yeah, this little tiny boat area, this little boat dock section is just like a direct connection to like the little fish market, and it's so cute. I love it. I actually really like this little tiny, I know I've already done some boat docks on this island, quite a few, as you guys have seen, but I feel like this little tiny one is just really cute. Like this one just matches to the little fish market I made, and I just love it. It's adorable. But yeah, that's like the last little portion of like furniture that I had to place in this area. The rest of this is just adding a couple more trees and making the area look a little bit more full. And I'm really loving the mix of trees I'm using on this island. I think using bamboo was an excellent way of like adding a lot more height, and like the stunted bamboo just looks so good with like the fake water coat I've been using. And I don't know, I'm really appreciating all the different elements coming together as I've continued to build, and I really like it. But yeah, I'm just adding my finishing touches. As you guys have also noticed, I've also added some vine benches, because the vine benches look so good along the water. Like I said today, while it was I've definitely started to find my footing with this island in terms of like the decorating, I really feel like I'm continuing to add like certain elements that I haven't in previous builds that are like really making the whole theme really come together. Like these log stakes, I haven't used them yet on the island. I was debating using them for the docks, and I do definitely think I would use them on like some dock areas, but I think using them on like the drawbridge area just adds a lot more to the drawbridge area in particular, as opposed to using them across all the spaces. But yeah, that is basically it for today's video. I'm just adding a couple of more finishing touches. I'm going to add some dropped items to make the area just look a little bit more full. But yeah, that is everything for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love how this build came out. I think it's so, I don't know, it's fun. I like working on transition spaces and connecting builds together, but I hope that you guys enjoyed as well. If you haven't already, make sure to drop a like on the video, comment down below letting me know what part of the video you enjoy the most, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!